And so here we explore the opportunity in the global financial market, and of course, how to harness and maximize the opportunity therein. So it's very, very important. All right. So I'm going to be going through some of the details. So let's go here. Okay, so let's look at markets holistically, the global financial market holistically. So we're going to start from the forex market, the foreign exchange market. And of course, one of the first indices we make use of to actually look at the intensity of the market is the power of DXY. And so we've said last week that we ought to be recovering from the massive drop on DXY, and we had that, and unfortunately couldn't get up there and all of that. And but that was a very massive buying opportunity for those of us who are trading. And I will not forget telling you that if you are the type that trade forex, the best counsel I'll give to people is that you have to face a limited instrument, especially as a beginner, so that you can be effective on those instruments before you expand your horizon into multiple or numbers of instruments. And what if you could perfect a limited number of instruments? I think is going to give you a lot of profitable trading and all of that. Now, of course, the effect is this. So DXY is a very fantastic correlation with what's it called? Direct correlation to oil. Those of us who trade commodity. And so whatever thing you see happening in currencies actually have direct impact on oil and all of that. But one of the things we now said is that the divergence is Euro USD. And as a beginner, the first pairs I mostly recommend for beginners who are trading Forex is Euro USD because of the tighter spread. And of course, volume or available in it and all of that can help. And so what are we looking at this week for Euro USD and even the DXY? Of course, we still expect DXY to flap down as it was unable to rally it up. And then you could have Euro USD creating several touch here, and probably if we're unable to break this, so this become like a double top again, and then we'll roll down. But you expect that, okay, market opening tonight to see Euro USD have some positive move up. And so if I'm going to be looking at the market for Euro USD, I'll be looking for an opportunity to actually buy. But that may be a short buy because that all tentatively depend. Remember, this is going to the end of the month. And so we have to be careful what we do. And of course, balance sheet are part of the thing that you'll be expecting. So whatever happened in Euro USD, it may be faster, all right, is what you're going to have for GBP, JPY, BPB USD, and all of that. Though the GBP USD may be faster. I love swing trading, especially when I'm trading currency. I don't get moved with all of those literally to move in between. And so I love to just have worst case scenario, I'll pay the swap fee. And I think it's more important for me and all the like. So those of us who trade Forex, I think you can now correlate to other instruments. Gold has been performing massively well. We've been saying that. I told us last week that I was bullish, right, on gold, and that I just want a reasonable pullback and afterward to have continuation. And now, one of the things that most of us made mistake about is that when gold created the all-time high, which was a very long-time projection for us at $3,000, and then there's supposed to be a kind of exercise of patience at that point to look at what we go do at that point. Are we going to have the all-time high and then break down and have the market actually crosses over and rebounds? And exactly what gold did, massive break of that region, and of course, consolidate and retest and continue to move. So gold, this is excessive bullish. So we can see that we're waiting for gold to create another new all-time high, perhaps maybe up to 3,102. And then for us to now have another move back. But if you're going to have another move back, so you have to be looking at the previous immediate high, which is our 3,000 region point and all of that. So probably want to have something at this point for gold. So those of us who trade gold, one of the things, again, I always advise is that if you are trading a particular instrument and it just creating a lot of volatility or momentum, then you want to navigate through a lower time frame to find a position in it and all of that. I actually want to draw a line for here. Okay, let's go here. Yeah. Okay, so if we're going to have a new created all-time high for gold, probably at $3,002, then you're going to have gold probably pull back to consolidate above the $3,000 we have achieved before, and then continue. But if we're going to have that created and a massive pullback for a break of this point, remember, we always expect like this that was running down, we expect that gold will come down to that point, but unfortunately, and it got a bounce and we continue. So in all said and done, at the point gold was, it was good for anyone who looked inwardly to be able to find a proper entry before this spike up of gold. Now, so let's quickly go to Bitcoin, which is most of our interest, and we have to know what do we expect in Bitcoin. Now, the point is that logically, I expect Bitcoin to rallied up, just like what we were talking last week that Bitcoin was going to crash. Remember at first when we rallied up here, we expected a crash, which happened. And then this was my limit. I told us, practically speaking, that uh, we could have up to 8,000. And of course, if we're able to make it up here, we're targeting at about 92,000 before breaking down. But as I said, you could find, and we saw what happened. That was a very fantastic rejection over there. And of course, the challenge we have now with Bitcoin would make it so fragile. I expect Bitcoin to actually come to $80,000, right? $80,000, $79,000, but it didn't. So we have to be a little bit careful today, close of candle. So let Bitcoin probably come down to come and sweep 81,600 to $80,000 liquidity, and then we can rally it up, and then we have more stoppage, 84 to 88,000, and of course we have a lot of future liquidity at about $88,000 again, and even up to as high as $89,000. So whichever way, the challenge now what many of us are going to have with Bitcoin for this period, Bitcoin may continue to have a kind of sideways. So if I were you, you want to catch up with Bitcoin and then just understand that we'll continue to have some range, then you probably want to go down to a lower time frame, something like 5 minutes. If you're a day trader or scalper, something like 5 minutes, right? Something like 5 minutes or 15-minute time frame to get the best for yourself for Bitcoin, right? If you're a day trader for Bitcoin and you can catch some moment, you can catch some move for Bitcoin. And if you look at it, I was actually trading Bitcoin on MT5. I think that I could catch a lot of move from Bitcoin in that region. You can see after the very massive move, because there was a leftover of a gap that Bitcoin was supposed to fill below, and we have a very nice rally up. So if Bitcoin is unable to take out this, then that means we're going to crash down first and before we can find a rally up. But I expect Bitcoin to actually rally up, right? 7,000, 86,000, 87,000. So if you're a day trader, you should have been able to find opportunity. But as it were right now, you're looking at Bitcoin. If you still crash down again, perhaps. So you have to be very careful. And Probably you look at Bitcoin on 30-minute time frame. Let's go here. Bitcoin. Okay. So what's going to happen to us in Bitcoin? Is bull run over? Well, logically, like I've said, the market is a bit more crazy, right? So, well, is the bull run over now? I didn't say so. I didn't say officially, but of course, I've told us my first target for Bitcoin was 90,000 and 110,000. 110,000 was like an extra, right? Like a bonus. Now, so what to make us to go very, very well up right now for Bitcoin is for us to go first above $92,000 and now break the 109,000. Then we can manage to push up to as crazy as probably 100 and something thousand that they have been talking about, and some say 200,000. Well, I don't know, but it's not going to be a bad deal that you can do 150,000 or 175 to 176,000 with some of those kind of indices we have to reflect that. But if that's not going to happen, and then Bitcoin now will not retest to this point at the opening of today, and before rallied up, then that means we're still going to expect Bitcoin to crash down again to about $76,000. It doesn't really matter where they fall down to. What you need to have an idea about is that what are they trying to do? So, but I expect more of sideways movement for Bitcoin over the next few days or weeks, and probably if we're able to now get out of the compression, then you can have a spike up massively or a breakdown aggressively. Okay, so that's for Bitcoin, and of course Solana. I'm talking about Solana to have crashed so much to 95 to maybe $99, right? And so if Solana is unable to recover from where it is, then we expect that Solana's go below $100, right? So many persons will be imagining now, what have I done to myself? I have Solana when the price went to 250 or $60. I never sold. Now, why probably I've not sold is because there was no proper arrangement for your portfolio. If you do really have proper portfolio building strategy, you definitely will have sold to buy back and add them to a portfolio of Solana. Okay. So for crypto, honestly speaking, it's heavily dicey, and then the fluctuation is going to impact a lot of accounts so much bad that people may not be able to recover some losses because some meme coin were going to fizzle out and going to affect a lot of people who don't know what they are doing part time. All right. So there was a coin I wanted to send, but I think couldn't lay hands on that. All right. So please, for crypto, you know what you're looking for. You want to buy some. Probably there may be a need for you to exercise patience because, like I said, the sideways movement of Bitcoin, if it's going to crash from that sideways, then that will impact a lot of people's portfolio negatively. And a lot of people too will want to sell off because of fear and panic. And I always tell people, why will you sell off coin at the bottom? So what happened when the price was up? So why haven't you sold some? Or if you know you never sold any and you were not interested in selling any at the time, then there's no need selling at this point because, yes, certainly, if Bitcoin not actually go above what we expect, that doesn't mean that Bitcoin cannot still rally up to as high as $97,000. Yeah. So if that happens, and then we're going to get a crazy rejection at that point, then you probably may want to sell off or at least reasonable percentage of your portfolio, as to prepare for probably the next cycle or having enough money to even trade the same Bitcoin, even when the price is going to be coming down. Okay. So they are very, very important. And that's what I say I will have to unveil to us tonight. And additionally, remember we've said identify what you want. If you are in an ecosystem and you want to trade, thank God we have so many activities happening in Forex, in synthetics, right? Right now, there's a 90 days challenge going on, synthetics trading using WellTrade. And if you are a community, we'll be sending link for you to register so you can be part of the people following the 90 days challenge that's building up 1,500% in 90 days. Yeah. So yours just to register, fund your account, and then join the chariot and then make money. So additionally, I was working on certain strategy. So that was why I told us that if you on Capital Extend, you try and register, fund your account, because I want to implement two things on that. And probably I will be experimenting with first come, first serve on PAM, account transactions, and copy trade account setup. And so one of the things about the copy account setup on Capital Extend is that you do not need to lift up your finger to do anything. And so by the time it's well implemented, and so we just through what to connect, how to connect your account, and then whatever thing happening on the master trader account, going to be reflecting on yours, and that's all. You don't need to pay for anything to connect. The only thing, when you make money, you will see the percentage of profit that can be taken from the profit, and that's all. No setup, no VPN, no was a VPS setup, nothing, no yearly subscriptions and all the like. And so we're working on so many things to help a community for people to build up, reliable source of income, passive income strategy, for themselves. So if you are on the group that will send link, register your Capital Extend, and then verify it. And I'm going to be experimenting a lot of things this month of April. And so if you know, because we have two segments, the palm trading and the copy trading. The palm trading, the lowest you will deposit is $100. I think there's a $50 options there, but you are not giving your money to anybody. So your money is going to be in your account, and we direct you on how to go about that, both for the copy trading and the palm trading. So the copy trading, the minimum we expect for deposit probably, we're still working on that, but that probably may be $1,000, and you see how you can maximize. So when first set is over, we'll pause without admitting new people, for us to have effective management, as the case may be. All right. So please, you're in our community, please maximize opportunity that are made available. We've said there's a 90 days challenge for people. Remember, because the three segments of participation in this global financial market. It's number one, investing. And investing in our crypto, we buy and hold, we buy and stake. I have some staking that have run for more than 5 years. Yeah, you heard me. So we buy and stake, then we buy and hold, and of course, we're now going to trading. I've told us, please, no matter how fervent you are in trading, no matter how effective you are in trading, without investing, you may struggle later. Because the point is this, there will be some time your psychological state of mind may not be too strong or healthy to manage any transaction that's going to be hitting your emotion. And so trading is like building a career. And of course, when you build a career, you need to have a backup which you're investing. And so that you don't work till you die. Yeah. So, but fantastically, what if I were look at things in that the very right direction. This is not a time to be subscribing to Ponzi schemes and all of that. This is a time to really settle down to build wealth as expected, so that you can be in charge, right? Okay, so because Bitcoin against returning back to the source before probably taking up or break it and still return back to this liquidity, all right? So that's one of the things that this season market continue to make a sideways move. don't put your trade on too long milestone, all right? So don't put your trade on too long milestone. If not, your trade will end up opening and hitting stop losses. Haven't done a very good profit. So because imagine like I was in a trade from here, right? I think from here now, I think I entered some and I DCA when some came down, and they each closes at about maybe $50 or none of that in that for 3 or 4 position. All right. And so you can imagine when you said you want to swing it, perhaps when the market was not yet ready, and then you can see the market is flipping down. So you can also, okay, this is a lower time frame anyway. So the next liquidity point you're looking at right now should be here, right? So yeah, so you can return back here to grab this liquidity. And so if you have not taken any profit over here, you will be pained that, oh, you never did, and you should have been finding another entry, perhaps return here or break this. And so you can see some leftover liquidity point here, here. And so that's about how much? 81,600 region I was talking about, right? Which should break the previous day low, as it were, to $81,600. So if you have not taken any profit, you, oh, what have I done? And then it's going to give you a big drawdown. Like, oh, why am I on a drawdown? Of course, for people who are very smart and fervent by now, remember we said what we showed people to trade. We talk about okay, we'll talk about support and resistance strategy, that once the market crosses created as a resistance, you mark it out, a breakout, so fake it, and return back to the source. Then you want to short from there, put your stop loss above that. And so for anyone who probably was doing that or had learned that this will have been in the market here and probably use a stop loss at this point, and then targeting this liquidity area. I'm sorry. So targeting this liquidity area, this point here, and that's going to be a very massive one if you are doing that on your MT4 or MT5, as it were. And so you will have closed some good neck-breaking closure, right? Then if it's going to create a very nice extension, that's now going to be almost 1:3 or give and take. And if it's going to break that to come and grab this entire bottom here, all right, that's going to be a very massive one. So one of the reason now is not to be on a long trade too much, because the market has actually not consolidated enough to create a very fantastic direction. Okay, so why we're doing all of this is for you to make money even when the market looks so dicey and not set up properly. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, so go and do the needful. Okay, you can see what I said. If we open today, certainly if we're going to move up, we need to have a kind of expansion downward before rallied up. If we have an expansion upward, that's not going to be a good one, right? So, however, I've told us that we could continue to record some kind of level of sideways movement for the market, and that's what it is, as much as we can. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome tonight. So go back to what you have on your platform and ask yourself, what exactly am I supposed to be doing right now? The truth of the matter is that I've said it time without number, that trading is a career, and you must equip yourself with the right skills, the right mindset. Then when you make money, you're trading, you must invest. It's a must, right? If you do not invest, I'm sorry, right? So a lot of people, oh, I'm trading, I'm making $1,000 every day. And so imagine a month I can make $30,000. It does not work like that all the time. So you have to work on yourself to have a kind of passive income strategy, or to have what to fall back to. Passive income strategy, where you buy some asset, you buy even stocks, right? Let me quickly look at some stock we're talking about that was going to crash that time. Fidelity in the local stock, because it's been a while. Okay, so actually crashed very well. And I remember telling us that you can buy Fidelity back at 17 naira, 15 naira, and all of that. Actually, even expect back to okay, yeah, 15 naira region. So that means at 16 naira and all of that. So the stock is actually finding its way back up, as it were. So for anyone who bought at 16 naira and a lot of that, targeting 20 naira and all that. So it's still a very good one and stuff like that. So Wima said was it moved to all-time high and then supposed to crash. Wow, yeah, good. It has done that. That's about 7 naira right now. So because it went up to all-time high of about 12 naira. Am I there? Oh, no, this is this. This is no Wima. Okay, Wima Bank want to like actually maintain up move. Okay, yeah, turn to 9 naira region and all of that. So Transcorp, yeah, amazing. 44 naira from 60 something naira. So those are the things that when you diversify, you buy it, and when you have obvious move and all of that, you want to sell. Okay. What's this one? Yeah, okay. GTCO. These are local stock. Amazing. Amazing. GTCO is not playing. After 63 naira that we said was going to correct, so you only corrected back to about 57 naira. So GTCO want to go and hit 100 naira. Come on, that's super. So MTN, yeah, MTN. Oh, also on 190 at the point. Okay, I think he just stuck at 245 naira. So Presco tools will be stuck at that 7-8 something. Okay. Etana. So we saw the update all of us posted on our group of how much okay, yeah, Etana 2 corrected back very well from about 50, 49 naira. And that was a very nice one. It's a very powerful pullback and all of that. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, okay, I think NVD, okay. Oh, really fell. Well, this guy, I don't know, tech went up to over 150 something dollars. So maybe we'll have to watch it to know what actually is the narrative going on around it. And then for us to see if it's still going to maintain a move down to 80 something dollars to add up. So let me look at PayPal. It's part of the foreign stock we bought in sometime and then sold and bought back. Wow. So that I was really smart enough that time. I was sorry, I was really encouraged to have sold some at about 90 naira or dollar rather. And there we're now 65. So from some bought late anyway. So some bought late at about 57, 58 dollars. I'm sorry. So let's look at it from that point. $57. That's about 50 something percent to 80% within the shortest time in less than 200 days. So that was amazing. And that's that thing. So that means, man, but if this guy eventually crashed back here, that's not going to be a good one. But anything can happen. So expect anything. That's one of the things. So, ladies and gentlemen, maximizing financial markets is not about, I have this so investment and all of that. No, you express, you diversify. So if you're trading, you make money. For one of the worst thing you can do to yourself is to be trading, not taking profit out. That means you have not planned yourself very well. So you have to plan yourself, you know, trading. I remember I was making an announcement talking so much when price of Bitcoin and crypto was up. And I said, if your portfolio is big enough, fetch out of it and buy into a FMCP PAYNET ecosystem so that you can be getting 9% monthly salary income. So 9% on $3,000, that's about $270. And so some were able to acquire like 10 account, 20 account, and all of that. So if you have about 10 account, that's about $30,000. And now that's $270 every month. And so the ideology is not all about the salary, perhaps. It's about being able to accumulate some stable coin that's USDT. And so when some coins come out or the time for you to DCA, that's going to make a lot of sense. Then you can have money to feed in, all of those things. So these are diverse. Yes, fine. Because the project, I think, like by the grace of God, by the month of May, I'll be 3 good years on the project. Now, that's not giving you a guarantee, but to tell you that how we have actually maximized some of those opportunity. Because one of the things is that when you're trading and you do not, let's say, if anyone have not told you, the reality is that if you are trading and you do not have backup fund, the time you're going to really have psychological problem, you probably may not be able to handle yourself. That's one of the things we need to understand. All right. So help yourself and all of that. And then for those of us who are on AKASHX and building up our account, please be careful. Take your account one step at a time, right? Be gradual. Don't rush in. You want to just pass your account, challenge account, want to pass now, no, no, no. No, no, no. Take it easy. And so if you pass, we just have somebody who passed $200,000 account last week. And then, so what was he supposed to be doing now? So if you have 200,000 funding account, right? So it just to take it easy. If it's 2% in the more, okay, so Bitcoin had reacted back to the source and now also bouncing up right now. So if it's 200,000, if you have 2%, that's $4,000. That's a good one for the person. If it's 5%, that's about $10,000. That's a very good one, right? And then what will you do? You plan yourself, right? How to respread and all of that. Because the truth of the matter is that trading fund is actually not your fund. It's a business fund. It's a capital to trade, right? So you do not actually have power over trading fund, meaning it is exposed to market and market activities can do any wonder for you at a point. And so it's what to take out of a broker that's actually your fund. Yeah, that does not mean that every time you just puncture your capital, because sometimes if you're trading financial market, equity is good for you, and then but you have to plan yourself. Okay, so you make some profit, every weekend you tell yourself this is the amount I'm going to pick out. Perhaps just have it as a reserve fund, and then once any issue happens, you have a backup to get started again. And that's one of the good strategy you can think about. Okay, then those of you who I think will send a message on that promo of this guy's, I don't know when it's going to close. I have a lot of people sent me a message and asking of when is the promo going to close. That's on Trade Mastery doing 50% discount promo. Some of you didn't know how to do it. Let me just quickly share the page. To do that, once you register with the link we sent across, it's just for you to go to your backend and because somebody said I applied the promo code and it was not working. That's not true. Now you have to click on new challenge account, for instance, and then you're going to see $10,000 challenge account is $99. 25,000 challenge account is $225. 50,000 challenge account is $325, and then 200,000 is $500, and then 200,000 is $975. So what do? You just apply the code March Madness, right? You just now, this is supposed to be $975, so just click apply. And then you see that's what's going to come. They have 480 $7. So if you go back to 100K account, instead of $500, it's about $250. Then 50,000 instead of $325 is $162, right? 25,000 instead of $225 is $112.5 and all of that. 10,000 instead of $99, that's $49.50. That's seed to your payment method, cryptocurrency, right? Yeah, so you deposit in which coin or USDT ERC20, USDT, okay. So Tron coin, USDT TRC20, and then you put it and all of that. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So we have so many opportunity to maximize. I've told you, don't waste time. You are in our community. Join the 90 days challenge on Merritrade. The link is on our group. Take it, register, or contact your friends who invited you or your leader. And so registered and then get on board. I don't think you need to waste so much time. And I saw on the Capital Extend, if you don't even know where to start from, if you can register tonight and fund your account with at least as low as $100, because from tomorrow before 1st of April, I want to set up some template and then one can be maximizing. All right, for those of you who are trading future trading, all right, who told you use CoinW, exactly you want to do and organize future trading. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Do have a nice rest. Bye-bye.